Midnight settles over Seringapatam like a held breath. Inside the royal workshops, oil lamps throw trembling gold across walls hung with mechanical drawings. Gears, cams, bellows rendered in precise Persian script. Here, Rajan works. His fingers move through brass filings and sandalwood dust, coaxing joints into a ribcage of hammered metal, threading silk-wound bellows through a tiger's hollow chest. The air smells of hot metal and lamp oil, of ambition made physical. Around him, the city sleeps behind its river-girt ramparts, unaware that British cannon already measure the distance to these very walls. Rajan does not sleep. He listens instead to the soft, improbable music of his creation, a half-finished thing that already seems to breathe. What he cannot yet know is that this tiger will carry a weight far heavier than any sovereign's commission. In the gilded halls of the Diwani Khans, beneath chandeliers trembling with candlelight, Rajan stands before the most feared sovereign in southern India. Tipu Sultan does not shout. He does not need to. His words arrive like the slow tightening of a siege, measured, inevitable, absolute. The mechanical tiger must be complete before the British envoys cross the Cauvery. It must roar. It must move. Beneath its iron paws, a European soldier must writhe in perpetual, humiliating defeat. The air smells of sandalwood and ambition. Rajan bows, pressing his forehead toward marble floors inlaid with ivory tigers. Outside, the distant thunder of British artillery rolls across the river plain, like a second, far less patient master. Two commands now govern his hands, and they will not both be satisfied. In the labyrinthine bazaar beyond the palace walls, where cardamom and gunsmoke mingle in the afternoon heat, Rajan moves carefully between the spice merchants and the anxious. He finds Dupont hunched over a brass fitting near the armorer's quarter, a Frenchman who has learned to speak with his hands. Between them, spread across a bolt of indigo cloth, lie Rajan's drawings. The tiger's hidden chest cavity, the delicate reed mechanism coiled inside like a secret prayer. Dupont traces the schematics with a calloused finger, nodding slowly. This is not the roar of conquest. This is something softer, a carnatic lament, the cry of something caught and dying. No one watching them could know that within the Sultan's most fearsome symbol, a craftsman is quietly burying a human heart. What that choice will cost him, the coming days will make devastatingly clear. Deep in the lamplit workshop, long after the palace falls silent, Rajan bends over the tiger's hollow chest, like a surgeon attending to something sacred. The smell of camphor oil and warm brass fills the air. With trembling fingers, he lowers the miniature pipe organ into its copper cradle. Not the Sultan's thunderous roar, but something older, softer, unbearably honest. Each pipe is no wider than a reed of sugarcane. Each has been tuned, in stolen hours, to carry a melody no royal decree commanded. It is a dirge, a love letter to a kingdom bleeding at its edges. He seals the panel closed with sandalwood resin, pressing his palm flat against the tiger's flank as though making a vow. What the British envoys will hear, they cannot yet imagine. They arrive on a Tuesday morning in the cool season, a column of redcoats and careful eyes threading through the Mysore gate, like a fever entering the bloodstream. The delegation moves with diplomatic courtesy and military precision, two things that, in Seringapatam, have never been truly separate. Their gazes sweep the ramparts, linger on the river's breadth, measure the cannon emplacements with a practiced, almost imperceptible hunger. The city knows. The bazaar vendors know. The soldiers posted along the esplanade know. From his workshop window, Rajan watches the procession cross the sun-baked courtyard below, the brass filings still warm on his fingers, the half-finished tiger crouching behind him in the shadows. In the silence between heartbeats, he understands. The Sultan will want the tiger ready before these men leave Seringapatam. The courtyard falls silent as the tiger's amber eyes catch the torchlight. Rajan stands apart, hands clasped, betraying nothing. Gears engage. The great head turns. The gilded paw lifts. Slow, deliberate, imperial. The British envoys shift in their embroidered coats, unease gathering beneath composed expressions. Then the chest opens. Every man present expects the violence of a roar, something to rattle bone and bruise pride. Instead, a melody rises, delicate, aching, unmistakably human, threading through the jasmine-heavy air like a lament no conqueror could commission. A sound not of dominion, but of grief. Tipu Sultan's eyes find Rajan across the marble expanse. The envoys exchange glances, laden with a new and dangerous curiosity. In a single, unguarded moment, the Craftsman has said everything the Sultan's diplomats dared not speak aloud, and now every consequence of that confession draws near. The torches burn low in the private antechamber, as Tipu Sultan dismisses his guards with a single raised hand. Rajan stands alone before the Tiger of Mysore. No court, no witness, no ceremony. The distant percussion of British artillery rolls across the Cauvery like slow thunder, rattling the latticed windows of jade and sandalwood. The Sultan's eyes, dark and unreadable, move between the Craftsman and the mechanical beast that still breathes its plaintive, haunting melody into the perfumed air. This is not the confrontation of executioner and condemned. Something in that music has reached beneath the jeweled armor of absolute power and found, unexpectedly, a wound. Tipu Sultan, warrior, scholar, dreamer, leans forward and asks the question that no cannon has ever forced from him. Rajan's answer will determine the fate of everything he has ever built. May 1799. The walls of Seringapatam surrender with a sound like the earth splitting open. Cannon smoke rolls across the Cauvery in bruised, acrid clouds. Through the breach pour the red-coated soldiers of a conquering empire, bayonets catching the merciless afternoon sun. In the royal workshops, the smell of burning sandalwood and scorched brass fills Rajan's lungs as flames consume a lifetime of ingenuity. Gears, bellows, half-finished wonders reduced to molten ruin. He runs. Manuscripts pressed against his chest, toolbag striking his hip with every desperate stride. He moves through courtyards littered with the wreckage of a kingdom. Behind him, Seringapatam screams. A civilization, 4 centuries in the making, dies in an afternoon. Yet somewhere beyond the river, beyond the grief, Rajan's manuscripts carry secrets that empires cannot burn, and he is not finished. The workshops are ransacked now, their silence broken only by the triumphant clatter of British boots on stone. Rajan presses himself against the shadowed archway, breath held, as 4 soldiers haul the great mechanical tiger through the courtyard dust. Its gilded flanks catch the morning sun, still magnificent, still terrifying, even in defeat. The organ pipes within remain mute, their voice stolen by conquest. He watches the creature that consumed 7 years of his life, every jointed claw and painted snarl, loaded onto a cart like common plunder. The Cauvery moves indifferently beyond the broken ramparts. A craftsman's prayer, encoded in brass and lacquer and defiant color, is being carried away to become a curiosity in a distant empire's cabinet of trophies. But Rajan's hands still remember everything they built, and what they yet might do. Somewhere in the lamplight of a quieter room, Rajan works. Exile has not stilled his hands. Brass filings catch the flame. The smell of oil and sandalwood rises, familiar as prayer. He knows what the British do not, that the tiger they parade through their gilded halls carries a secret in its chest. Wind the key, and the pipes sing. To English ears, it is exotic spectacle, a curiosity of conquest. But the melody is a Mysorean lament, old as the Cauvery itself, sung by mothers for sons who do not return. Rajan permits himself a small, unhurried smile. A kingdom may fall to cannon and betrayal, but meaning is harder to occupy. The craftsman has outlasted the conqueror's comprehension. And what Rajan builds now, in silence, no one has yet thought to take from him.